Yep.
Hi, so my name's Peter Campbell and it's great to see you all here today. My background is I work in IT and have done for many years, but I've also had an extensive interest in the environment dating back to before my days at university through areas, activities like bushwalking and canoeing, you name it, I've done it actually, mountaineering, rock climbing. And getting out in the environment, it's clear that things are wrong. We've got a disconnect in our society, which I think we're all aware of in this room, and working actively to do things about that. So I'm really, really worried at this point about climate change. But I see it as a double-sided problem, because climate change is the problem, but the cause is living unsustainable. It's pumping out far too much CO2. And we can see that both major parties are not really in a position where they're prepared to do anything about it. They're both rusted onto old industry and our polluting ways. So there's a huge problem around the globe in that a low percentage of people lead a first world lifestyle but are responsible for the majority of the world's pollution. So I think until we get in and address some of these basic causes and demonstrate to the world what real leadership is, which is dropping our footprint, our carbon footprint, if we can't do that, why should anybody else? So this whole notion that India and China are the problem is nonsense, because they, per capita, they're polluting 1/10 of what we are, around about that amount. So for Australia to argue that we're in some special position that we need to keep burning coal, we need a transition strategy to get off it, we need it now. And as you can see with things like the CPRS, it's getting worse, not better. And the Liberals are actually still stuck in denial over this whole thing. So they could cave in and actually support the current CPRS, which seems to be the way Rudd's playing the game. So Rudd is playing politics with our collective future and of every living thing on the planet. So it's a climate emergency. And Tooradin, for example, we're probably about between 1 and 2 metres above sea level right here. This area, less than 1, this whole area is going to go under with a very small sea metre rise. Probably half a metre will put a lot of Western Port and surrounds under. So it's very much a local issue. And of course you can multiply that times 100 for places like Bangladesh. So to focus on solutions, I've set up a website called Green Livingpedia, and part of the problem with politics is we get stuck in this reaction. So, Labor does the CPRS, we oppose it. So I think we need to actually drive a paradigm shift, and we need to drive it via grassroots democracy. We've actually got to reinvent democracy, because at the moment it's a game that's played in Canberra or Exhibition Street, and it's a total disconnect. So the government's off making these huge decisions, huge expense, and they're not actually reflecting what people want, and they're certainly not reflecting where we need to go. So what I'd like to do is take the bull by the horns and win the election campaign. I think I've got a good grounding in the local community, climate change action groups, climate emergency network, and I've done a lot of work with the Greens over about the last 10 years, including state councillor, National Election Campaign Committee, several national conferences, etc. And I think also knowing each of the senators, I can see, well, obviously Christine and Bob will be up for election again this time around. Hopefully they'll get re-elected. But Tasmania is an interesting place because they've got a lot of people that don't like the environment, but they've got a lot of people that do. So I think we need to see Victoria heading down the same path where we can really green up the country. So whoever wins this campaign, I think it's vital in terms of the preselection, and I'd commend the other candidates to you here too. I think it's critical that we all pull together and just get on with it. So with your help, we can make that happen. No, well, I think that will do me. I'm just here to wave the flag, if you like, but also, we've really got to pay a lot of focus on winning the campaign, but also changing the game. And I don't think we're going to get that by being incremental. I don't think we're going to get that by being a small target. We've actually got to stand up there and really say the emperor's got no clothes. Kevin Rudd and the Labor Party are not delivering on climate, nor will the Liberals, so who will? And that's us Greens. We collectively have got to make this happen. Thanks.